who are the modern-day descendants of the Babylonians, the builders of one of the world's first great civilizations. While the ancient city of Babylon lies in ruins, its legacy lives on in the people of modern Iraq and beyond. From the bustling streets of Baghdad to the ancient villages of the Assyrians, the echoes of Babylon's grandeur can still be felt. But how did this iconic city rise to power? And how did its descendants preserve their heritage through centuries of conquest, migration, and cultural change? Let's explore the fascinating origin, history, and enduring legacy of Babylon and its modern-day heirs. Babylon, or Bibi-Ilim in Akkadian, meaning Gate of the Gods, began as a small town in ancient Mesopotamia around 2300 BCE. Located along the Euphrates River, in what is now central Iraq, near modern-day Hilla, Babylon was part of the fertile plains of Mesopotamia, often called the cradle of civilization. This region, home to the Sumerians and Akkadians, was where some of the earliest human societies developed writing, law, and monumental architecture. Babylon initially played a minor role in the Sumerian and Akkadian cultural sphere. However, its fortunes changed with the arrival of the Amorites, a Semitic people who migrated into Mesopotamia around 2000 BCE. Under the Amorites, Babylon grew into a significant city-state. The First Babylonian Dynasty, 1894–1595 BCE, marked the beginning of Babylon's rise to prominence, culminating in the reign of Hammurabi, or 1792–1750 BCE, one of history's most famous rulers. Hammurabi transformed Babylon into the dominant power in Mesopotamia. He is best known for the Code of Hammurabi, one of the earliest and most comprehensive legal codes in history. This code, inscribed on a stele, established laws governing trade, property, family, and criminal justice, setting a precedent for future legal systems. Under Hammurabi, Babylon became a center of culture, religion, and governance, with the god Marduk elevated to the head of the Babylonian pantheon. After Hammurabi's death, Babylon faced periods of decline. The Hittites sacked the city in 1595 BCE, and it subsequently fell under the control of the Kassites, who ruled for over 400 years. Despite these changes, Babylon remained an important cultural and religious center. Babylon experienced a resurgence during the Neo-Babylonian Empire, often considered its golden age. This period was marked by the rule of Nebuchadnezzar III, 605–562 BCE, who transformed Babylon into one of the most magnificent cities of the ancient world. He built the Hanging Gardens of Babylon, one of the 7 wonders of the ancient world, and expanded the city's walls, temples, and palaces. The Ishtar Gate, adorned with glazed blue bricks and reliefs of lions and dragons, became an iconic symbol of Babylon's grandeur. Nebuchadnezzar I also played a significant role in biblical history. He conquered the kingdom of Judah, destroyed Jerusalem in 586 BCE, and deported many Jews to Babylon in what is known as the Babylonian exile. Babylon's decline began with its conquest by the Persian Empire under Cyrus the Great in 539 BCE. Although Cyrus allowed the city to retain much of its cultural and religious identity, it gradually lost its political significance. Later, under Alexander the Great, Babylon briefly became a center of his empire, but after his death in 323 BCE, the city fell into decline. By the time of the Parthian and Sasanian empires, Babylon was largely abandoned, and its ruins became a source of fascination for later civilizations. The modern-day descendants of the Babylonians are primarily the people of Iraq, particularly those living in the region historically known as Mesopotamia. Over millennia, The descendants of the Babylonians have blended with various invading and migrating groups, creating a rich tapestry of ethnic and cultural identities. Here's a closer look at the key groups who carry the legacy of Babylon today. The majority population of modern Iraq, Iraqi Arabs, are the most direct cultural heirs of the Babylonians. While they are primarily Arabized descendants of the ancient Mesopotamians, their language, traditions, and way of life have been shaped by centuries of Islamic and Arab influence. Many Iraqis take pride in their ancient Mesopotamian heritage, and the ruins of Babylon, located near the modern city of Hilla, are a source of national pride. Efforts to preserve and restore Babylon's archaeological sites reflect the enduring connection between modern Iraqis and their ancient ancestors. The Assyrians, an indigenous Christian ethnic group in Iraq, are among the most direct descendants of the ancient Mesopotamians, including the Babylonians. They speak Neo-Aramaic, a language closely related to the Aramaic spoken in ancient Babylon. The Assyrians have preserved many ancient traditions, including their Christian faith, which they adopted in the 1st century CE. Despite facing persecution and displacement, the Assyrians have maintained a strong sense of identity tied to their Mesopotamian roots. They often trace their lineage back to the ancient Assyrian and Babylonian empires, viewing themselves as the guardians of this ancient heritage. The Mandaeans are another ancient group with roots in Mesopotamia. They practice Mandaeism, a Gnostic religion that reveres John the Baptist and claims to have originated in the region during the time of the Babylonians. The Mandaeans speak a dialect of Aramaic and have preserved unique rituals and traditions that date back thousands of years. Like the Assyrians, they are a small and vulnerable community, but their cultural and religious practices offer a living link to the ancient past. The Kurds, an ethnic group primarily located in northern Iraq, Turkey, Syria, and Iran, also share in the broader Mesopotamian heritage. While their origins are often associated with the Zagros Mountains, the Kurds have lived in Mesopotamia for millennia and have absorbed elements of Babylonian, Assyrian, and other ancient cultures. Many Kurdish regions in Iraq, such as Erbil, ancient Arbela, are located in areas that were once part of the Babylonian and Assyrian empires. Smaller groups, such as the Shabaks and Yazidis, also inhabit the Mesopotamian region and have cultural and historical ties to the ancient civilizations of Babylon and Assyria. These communities have preserved unique traditions and religious practices that reflect the diverse heritage of Mesopotamia. The legacy of Babylon is not confined to genetics or direct lineage. It lives on in the cultural, linguistic, and historical continuity of the region. Modern Iraqis, Assyrians, Mandaeans, and others carry forward the traditions, stories, and achievements of their ancient ancestors. The Code of Hammurabi, for example, is often cited as a foundational document in the history of law, while Babylonian contributions to astronomy, mathematics, and architecture continue to influence modern science and culture. The ruins of Babylon, including the reconstructed Ishtar Gate and the remains of the Etemenninki Ziggurat, stand as powerful symbols of this enduring legacy. Efforts to preserve these sites, despite the challenges of war and political instability, reflect the deep connection between the people of Iraq and their ancient past. The story of Babylon is a testament to the resilience and continuity of human civilization. From its humble beginnings as a small town to its rise as a global superpower, Babylon's influence has endured for millennia. Today, its modern-day descendants, whether Iraqi, Arabs, Assyrians, Mandaeans, or Kurds, carry forward the legacy of this iconic city. The ruins of Babylon may lie silent, but its spirit lives on in the hearts and minds of those who call Mesopotamia home. The tale of Babylon is not just a story of the past. It is a living, breathing part of the present, reminding us of the enduring power of culture, heritage, and human ingenuity.